Welcome back to the podcast, where we explore the intricate relationship between technology and our everyday lives. Today, we're diving into a topic that's both captivating and a bit unsettling: predictive analytics and data surveillance. In this digital age, we find ourselves navigating the fine line between the benefits of data-driven decisions and the risks of algorithmic bias and privacy concerns. So grab your headphones, settle in, and let's unpack how these technologies influence our society. Let's begin with predictive analytics, a significant component of the big data landscape. At its essence, predictive analytics involves using data to anticipate future events. This can range from something as harmless as weather forecasts to more controversial applications, like predicting whether a criminal might reoffend or if a loan applicant is likely to default. While predicting the weather is generally low stakes, the consequences of these algorithms can be life-altering. Imagine being denied a loan or a job based solely on an algorithm's assessment. Organizations are increasingly turning to these predictive models to mitigate risks. Banks want to avoid bad loans, airlines aim to prevent hijackings, and companies strive to steer clear of hiring unreliable employees. The logic here is straightforward. The cost of saying no often feels lower than the potential fallout from a poor decision. However, this cautious mentality can lead to systemic issues. People labeled as risky by algorithms may find themselves shut out from essential services like jobs, insurance, and housing, a situation that some have referred to as algorithmic prison. In societies that uphold human rights, we typically adhere to the principle of innocent until proven guilty. Yet, automated systems can exclude individuals without any evidence of wrongdoing, often leaving them without a clear path for appeal. This raises profound ethical questions about accountability. If an algorithm makes an erroneous decision, who is held responsible? Unlike human decision makers, algorithms operate in a sort of black box, making it difficult to trace back decisions and understand the reasoning behind them. Now, let's talk about the biases that can creep into these algorithms. While humans naturally harbor biases, often unconsciously, there's a common belief that data-driven decisions can be more equitable. Unfortunately, that's not always true. If the data fed into an algorithm carries historical biases, the system is likely to learn and perpetuate those biases. For instance, if a predictive model uses postal codes as a variable, it could inadvertently reinforce racial or socioeconomic stereotypes since certain areas tend to be racially segregated. This brings us to the realization that predictive analytics isn't inherently fair. In fact, it can reflect and amplify past injustices. To create a more equitable future, we need to apply moral imagination, something only humans can provide. Data and algorithms should serve as tools to enhance our decision-making, not dictate it. Another important aspect of predictive analytics is its probabilistic nature. While a credit score is based on an individual's borrowing history, predictive analytics often relies on comparisons with others, which can lead to stereotyping. This means people can be unfairly categorized based on their association with certain groups, resulting in a downward spiral of disadvantage. For example, if an employer uses credit scores to evaluate candidates, someone facing temporary financial difficulties might find themselves trapped in a cycle of joblessness and worsening credit, all due to a system that fails to consider individual circumstances. As we explore the implications of predictive analytics further, we also need to address the ethical dilemmas surrounding data collection. The relationship between data collectors and individuals can often be murky. When users willingly provide data, the situation is more straightforward. However, when their activities are tracked without explicit consent, usually for advertisers' benefit rather than the users, the dynamic shifts dramatically. This is where the concept of surveillance comes into play. In our eagerness to embrace technology, we've inadvertently created a vast surveillance infrastructure. With the rise of the Internet of Things, we're surrounded by devices capable of monitoring our every move. Smartphones, smart TVs, and even children's toys. While many of us may feel comfortable with this level of oversight, it's vital to recognize that not everyone shares this privilege. Those who are marginalized or vulnerable may have legitimate reasons to fear such surveillance. Interestingly, many people accept this surveillance because they believe they have nothing to hide or because the services seem beneficial, like personalized recommendations. However, when we consider the implications of predictive analytics in areas such as health insurance or employment, the seemingly benign facade begins to crack. For instance, if your health insurance premiums depend on data collected from a fitness tracker, the stakes become much higher. The core of the issue is that as predictive analytics becomes more woven into our lives, we must confront the ethical challenges it presents. How do we ensure accountability for algorithms? How can we prevent the reinforcement of existing biases? And when mistakes occur, how can we correct them? These are pressing questions that require our attention as we navigate this data-driven landscape. Moreover, we need to adopt a systems thinking approach to grasp the broader implications of these technologies. By examining how data analysis systems interact with human behavior, we can better anticipate potential feedback loops that might exacerbate existing inequalities. For instance, if a system disproportionately favors the wealthy, it could deepen societal divides. On the flip side, if designed with equity in mind, these systems could help combat injustice. As we wrap up today's discussion, it's evident that predictive analytics and data surveillance are double-edged swords. They have the potential to enhance our lives and drive positive change, but they also present significant ethical challenges that we must address. As we continue to integrate these technologies into our daily lives, we need to stay vigilant, advocating for transparency, accountability, and fairness. The future of data systems isn't just about harnessing the power of information. It's about ensuring that this power is wielded responsibly and equitably. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us next time as we explore more intriguing topics at the intersection of technology and society.